So when the honeymoon period's over and you're sick and tired of vacuuming sand out of the floorboards of your car and you've made an Olympic sport out of dousing your kids in sunscreen in record time, what else is there to love about living in Sarasota? Well, this video is going to talk about just that, family edition.
Let's talk about Sarasota. You know, we're famous for our beaches. Siesta Beach, which is a very popular beach here, has been voted #1 for many years. But there are lots of other beaches that are great and have that same sugar powdery white sands and the soft quartz that it's made out of. It's amazing. But the reality is there's also a ton of water sports. You know, jet skis and parasailing and paddleboarding and kayaking and canoeing. There are amazing water sports here that you could really get involved with. So really, it's not just about going to the beach. If your family after a while ends up getting tired of going to the beach, well, there's those water sports, and of course there's pools, whether you have a pool or there's a community pool or your friend has a pool, and we have some public pools too. So there's pools and lots of parks. I'm at a park now, lots of nature areas, lots of things to do. And it's very outdoor, nature friendly for active families like that. And I have to talk about the communities. You know, if there's something that you're really wanting to get into, if there's a club or an organization or something you'd like to explore or enrich your life, this is the place to do it. There's so many clubs, there's so many groups and organizations to plug into. Many of them are super family friendly, meaning they are non-generational. Anybody, any age can do it and participate and actually grow closer together and enrich together. Then let's talk about the work situation here in Sarasota. So most families, we have some major sectors here in Sarasota. One of them is the medical profession, because we have two main anchor hospitals, big ones, Sarasota Memorial and Doctors Hospital. So they employ a lot of our doctors, nurses, admin, all of the organizations that go along with that. And then there's, of course, hospitality, you know, lots of restaurants, lots of hotels. I mean, this is a touristy location at times of the year, so there's lots of that going on. And we have a big financial sector as well, banking, loan, all of that, and investment, all of that. The county employs lots of people between civil, county, city, and teachers. So that's a huge employer as well of the area. And then if you're self-employed, it's a fantastic area. There's lots of people who need your services. So there's enough population to support a business. And of course, I'm partial to that. My husband and I both are self-employed. So we love it here. It's very flexible and you can get out and do during the day, which is phenomenal. But so that's basically our work environment. And I can't forget mentioning volunteering. I mean, if you're not ready to, if you're either a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home parent and you're not ready to commit to a 9-to-5 type job and you just want to volunteer, we love our volunteers. Shout out to all the volunteers out there who help make everything run. And you know, there's retail as well, just a little bit of everything. And Sarasota really does have the feel of the items of a big city, the resources of a big city, but a very small town feel. I can't tell you how many times, after just about a year and a half or two, I started running into people I knew all the time, especially at Publix, and especially when I've been outside getting sweaty and gross. And of course you're going to run into somebody when you're running a quick errand like that. So it does start to feel like a small town after a little bit, and you've plugged in here and made some friends with some organizations. So it's wonderful that way, I think. Our school system is really just a phenomenal system. Now, here, depending on what your personal preferences are and what your personal needs are for your family, that really is so important to take into consideration. So whether you want private education, public education, charter schools, or even homeschooling, all of those are really well supported here in this area. And you know, you can pretty much find any school that will fit your needs and your preferences. You may need to talk to a few parents. I'm happy to answer particular questions, but there are so many schools in the area. We have something called school choice, and basically what that is if you do not want your child to attend your own for, you can actually transfer, or call a lottery, which schools, and no matter where. Now obviously that is not guaranteed. It's a lottery system. The only way to guarantee in your preferred school is to actually live in that school zone. So that's why it's incredibly important that we know, as realtors and as the person working with, that we know where you want to attend school, and or if you don't know yet, what your preferences and needs are. So that will help us to plug you into the right, or send you in the right direction as far as homes and schools. So but yeah, it's so many incredible programs. And then they're homeschooling. There are so many homeschool support groups now, especially after last year, especially after so many people switched over to homeschooling from in-person learning. So it really is just a matter of what do you want to do, and then plugging into those pods or those support systems, whether it's public, private, charter, or homeschooling. I've found it to be very enriching for my kids, who love to also do the after-school programs between swimming and even photography classes and American Sign Language, and I mean, you name it. There's so many different programs for them. And I personally volunteer and also work with a children's choir here in the program that's very active. They even tour. So I mean, really, when I stop to think of, I could make a video just on this. There's so many, and I might, and there's just so many different schools, so many resources, after school programs, before school programs. So you definitely are not going to be in shortage there. Sarasota does not disappoint. If shopping's your thing, you're definitely going to want to check out the UTC Mall and the surrounding strip malls. There's just so, I mean, everything from bargain stores to your traditional box stores like a major Target or a Dick's Sporting Goods, even golf specialty stores, all the way up to the luxury stores that are found inside the mall. And you know, we have so many farms close by too. You can even do some of your grocery shopping at some fresh local produce farms, but we certainly have Publix as one of our biggest food distributors, and we have Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and of course people also come here for thrifting. There's some great thrift stores and antique stores, lots of history and tradition here as well. So Sarasota will not disappoint in the shopping department. Let's talk about cost of living. Living in Sarasota is a little bit more expensive, or higher cost of living, than our northern neighbor Tampa and our southern neighbor Fort Myers. And a big part of that is just because it has recently become very popular, and people are just picking up to the quality of life here. And so that obviously is going to make it more popular, more desirable, and a little bit more expensive. But in general, you're looking at the current median listed price for a home is $415,000, and that's about $248 a square foot. And the current median sold home was right around $385,000. Now that's as of August of 2021. So that does give you an idea of kind of the median price of homes and what they actually sold for in the area. And you know, but if you actually want a better idea of month to month what your potential cost of living will actually be as far as utilities or any of that, I highly encourage you to grab my Ultimate Living in Sarasota Guide Family Edition, where I actually go through and I break down my family of four's month to month costs as of utilities, you know, groceries, food, taxes, all of that. So I break that down in that guide. You'll definitely want to grab that if you want a more super detailed for family expenses view. Really, it comes down to how much involvement, how much you plug in, and the effort. I think any town is like that. You know, what you are willing to kind of go out and put and get engaged and involved and help and support, and there's really, the sky's the limit here. How much and what do you want to figure out and explore, and with your kids as well. There's so many wonderful after school activities. Of course, there's tons of performing arts, ballet, dance, theater, music. We have the Sarasota Youth Opera, Youth Orchestra. There are so many youth programs here, and even we have a very famous and well-known Scullers program. That's like a rowing program. We also have Sarasota Sailors, like the actual sailing program down near Ken Thompson Park and near the Moat Marine. And we have the Moat Marine, so a lot of educational classes and whatnot there. And then I mean, you name it, karate, martial arts, after school programs that actually go pick up your kids and take them to the after school program. So many amazing things for the kids to get involved in. You will not get bored, tired. You're gonna actually probably have a harder time figuring out which one to commit to. And there is a little bit of a cost. It varies anywhere from $40 a month to $200, depending on how, what the program is and how involved and what type of classes and how many classes, how often you go, all of that. I mean, we have gymnastics, we have swim programs, you name it. And one of my favorite things to do is, if you're going to enrich your kids, if you're going to plug them into something, you should too. You should engage and enrich and do something for yourself as well. It's so important that, it's not just about the kids, it's about the whole family. And that's one of my favorite things about Sarasota. People are really starting to pick up to how popular of an area it is to raise a family. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're getting such an influx of people who want to move here. But it's not just about, investing in a home here. It's also about investing in your quality of life. And that's one of the most important things for me and my family. And I know that was what's kept us here. It brought us here and it's kept us here. And I really am looking forward to sharing more about that. So consider subscribing, hitting those notifications so you don't miss my new videos. And this channel is all about living in Sarasota for busy families and who are relocating here and who want to get the most out of it when they move here. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.